Shout out to J&J.
So I just want to send a shout out to J&J Sports for having me once again.
Episodes, man. You guys got a real good thing going on.
Good morning, everybody. I'm your favorite sports analyst, Jamar McKill, my favorite co-host,
James Jerwitz.
and y'all finna get served with J&J Sports, episode 93. Today we got a special guest, man, a mentor of mine. Actually was at their station as an intern. Man, I'm gonna let you shout yourself out, man. Let them know who you are.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, guys? Joe George here, host of Gallant and George on ESPN 97.5 from 12 to 3, Monday through Friday. So it's good to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. We got
Thank
some
you.
good stuff. First up, the 2025 Super Bowl debate. And before we get into that, shout out to you, man. At the end, you can leave any, ESPN 97.5 website, anything like that, anything you want to shout out.
For sure.
Yeah, but we're gonna dive right into it. So, we all know the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles, and I want, it's gonna get a little personal, but I definitely want to, get into this. So, just to get us started, he's team Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm team Philadelphia Eagles, because I want them to wipe the floor with the Chiefs, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this is a rematch, this is a rerun, and yeah, I just want to see a rerun. How do you feel, and what team are you on right now?
Man, I'm kind of pro Eagles, to be honest with you. It's not that, like it's not like I'm cool with the dynasty. I can't believe we had to go from like Tom Brady right into Patrick Mahomes. It's crazy. Like they have two dynasties like this back to back.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of rooting for the Eagles here just because I want to see it change up a little bit. I do think like it'll be a really good game. I think Saquon, like he's just been so good this year. And really I thought he was like we knew he was good, but I didn't think it was gonna be this good for the Eagles. So I'm rooting for the Eagles just because I kind of want to see it changed up a little bit. And dynasties need to be challenged. Like Tom Brady didn't win every Super Bowl he played in. We don't see a team go three-peat every single time. So, and I don't want to hear all next season about a four-peat too. So I'm for the Eagles in this one.
Okay, right. So we're on the same team with that. So, uh, James, I know you're a Cowboys fan, and where does your hate really come from the Eagles? When did it start, and like, and how come?
It's just that deep rivalry between the teams. And I think it could be argued that it's one of the bigger rivalries in the NFL. And every time we match up with the Eagles, it's always physical and it's also always emotional, kind of regardless of like the outcome, whether we win or lose. There's always something going on there. And I definitely agree with what you said, Joe, about Saquon Barkley, because from what I remembered last season, towards the end of the season, everybody was kind of exalting the Eagles' offensive line, talking about how excellent they were. So all they were really missing there was that elite running back.
Yeah. To and what strategy do you think the Chiefs need to do to win this game? Because I mean, you still you got to deal with the Eagles defense. It's a lot so what do you think, Joe? I'll start with you. What's their strategy you think that needs to be had?
Yeah, I think for the Chiefs, like we saw last week, last week, Patrick Mahomes I thought like played his best game of the season, like finally getting the wide receivers involved. Obviously, like against the Texans, they were really quiet. Like DeAndre Hopkins didn't have a single catch in that game, so that we really saw like the Texans corners lock him down, and the Eagles got good corners too. Like they're young. I mean, they're both rookies or young players. Like they're really a young secondary. So I think Patrick Mahomes, like he's just got to take advantage of those guys. Like I like Cooper DeJean, I like some of the players, Quinion Mitchell, but they're so young, and to think that they are going to have a lot of success against Patrick Mahomes, like it's hard to think that that's going to work. So I think they got to just like let Patrick Mahomes be Pat, and Xavier Worthy I think is going to be a huge part of this game. Like he's a really special talent. If they can get him going and get Hopkins going, it'll just make things so much easier for them because you can't just rely on Travis Kelce. Like it worked against the Texans, but like it's not going to work against the Eagles. The Eagles are going to score, unlike the Texans. So I think that's what they got to do. They just got to get these receivers involved and get the ball moving. They can't be as stagnant as they've been this season because there's been a lot of games where the Chiefs' offense hasn't been that good. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like they beat the Raiders like 19-17. They haven't been like super impressive. They haven't scored over 30 points. They didn't score over 30 points in the regular season once this year. They got to 30 twice, I think it was. but they just got to get the ball moving and get those receivers involved, I think, to win this game.
Definitely. And if we kind of look at the differences in quarterback, we got Jalen Hurts, we got Patrick Mahomes. If we look at the numbers, man, Patrick had over 3,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, uh, 67 QBR. When Jalen Hurts, he had 2,903, 18 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. And I think the difference, though, Joe, is really because of Saquon, like you said. Him coming in kind of, he didn't have to do much. You know what I mean? He runs straight down the field and it's a touchdown. So, uh, I mean, shout out to both of them just to like get us more into the conversation, man. So, um, Patrick Mahomes, even though he's had a better season, he had, Hurts had lesser interceptions. And we all witnessed the first Super Bowl. Now let's kind of get into that, James. Do you feel like that first Super Bowl with the Eagles and the Chiefs, do you think that was stolen from the Eagles? Because we've seen with the refs, and a lot of people feel a way about the refs. How do you feel about it?
Not as much that first Super Bowl, especially because the Chiefs were behind like, I don't know, 10 points, I guess, going into halftime. And that was definitely hard to watch. Kind of rooting for the Eagles not to win that game. But the Chiefs were able to come back. So in a lot of ways, it's that Eagles defense allowed them to come back into the game. And Joe, kind of what you had mentioned about those corners, that's definitely something to look out for in the Super Bowl is how Mahomes is going to perform against them.
Yeah, I think back to like that first one. I think the ref stuff that feels like new, right? Like it doesn't feel. I feel like it wasn't like happening as much.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes wasn't getting like as much of the superstar treatment back at that Super Bowl that he is now, and I don't think it's as extreme as everyone like wants it to make it seem. There's definitely calls he gets that like not every quarterback gets, but like I don't think it's as bad as people get. I think the Chiefs just kind of beat themselves in that game. I mean, the Eagles beat themselves in that game. So like for this one, I think the difference, like if they're gonna win it, it's gonna be Saquon. Like the Chiefs struggle against James Cook against Buffalo. Saquon, like, and then Buffalo stopped running the ball for some reason. Like it makes no
Yeah.
sense why they
Yeah.
stopped running it. Like James Cook wasn't even on the field that last possession for most of it. He missed like 6 of the plays that they were out there for, which is crazy. Like where Saquon's going to be on the field no matter what. So I think Saquon can be the difference maker for sure from this time than last time. But yeah, I don't think last time the refs were the big story, and I don't think they're going to be this time either because you know. Well, I don't think it's as extreme. Like the fans think it is. Like most fans think it's pretty extreme, and like I think the refs are gonna have to be kind of conscious of that, or like they're gonna have to let some stuff go, because it's one thing to be the story in like the AFC divisional round. It's another thing to be the story out of the Super Bowl. And, like the refs are the problem, and like you don't want that. You do not want that.
Exactly. And just to get us more into it, man, I have a couple incidents with the refs kind of getting their way. And with him and it's like them and Mahomes have a special connection. So the Chiefs versus the Bengals 25-23 game. It was a fourth down and long play. He threw the ball and they threw a pass interference flag, real late flag. Uh I had a problem with that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the play was over with, and I felt like Travis Kelce, he, put his arm up, and then it was staged to me. If that didn't happen, I feel like the Bengals could have had that game. Absolutely. Have you seen that game?
Yeah, I remember that play. I
Yeah,
I remember that one.
that
That's
one.
one of those where it felt like they were throwing that flag if you didn't catch it, which I kind of hate that rule. Like the refs kind of do that across the NFL where like they have like their hand on the flag and like they're ready to throw it, but they only throw it if it's not caught. Which like that's not the rule. The rule is the rule. Like pass interference is pass interference. Like either you call it or you don't. And like that's one where like I feel like it's where it gives off like that perception of like it's a really bad call because it didn't feel like they were going to catch it. They were going to throw it if Kelsey just caught it.
Yeah.
What's y'all's opinion about the fake slides that are going on?
Ooh,
And I know that it's really heavy in college, but we're starting to see it a lot in the pros too.
it's got to
Uh,
go.
yeah.
Got to go.
Like the situation with Trevor Lawrence, that was just a late slide though. I mean, that was really on him. He definitely should have slid early in that play. Uh, you got to watch how you sliding, really.
Man, it's just I just want to get rid of the slides.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. Just like we saw CJ Stroud like put his shoulder into people against the Chiefs. Like just get rid of it. Like it's too hard to stop it. Whether they're gonna fake it or they're gonna slide super late. Like you're holding these defenders to a standard that I think is just it's just unfair. Like that's why I don't blame Aziz Al-Shaair for that hit on Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, it was late, but like it wasn't the dirtiest play we've seen all year.
Yeah.
It's just a late hit on a slide. Like they slide too late, and it sucks for defenders because like you got to be prepared for Mahomes, like just to drop down at a moment's notice and then stop all your momentum. But yeah, they got to get rid of it, like or they got to stop it something because it's almost impossible for these defenders to not make mistakes like that, and I think it just holds them to too high of a standard versus like what the offensive players have to deal with.
Absolutely. I just feel like it kind of softens the game too at the same time. Quarterbacks, I understand protect them at all costs, but it's gonna be moments where, they're gonna get hurt, you know what I mean? And I don't think nobody intentionally tries to do that. Like with Mahomes, you rough him up a little bit, they throwing a flag immediately, you reject it, this and that. But a lot of these other quarterbacks just take the hit, no call, run with it. So it's definitely something there with that. Uh, so just overall, man, with this topic, you guys, who do you think, which team has the better advantage if you include refs and everything? I'll start with you, Joe.
Oh, definitely the Chiefs. Like it's not nothing against the Eagles here, but I mean the Chiefs got the experience. And the Eagles do too. Like what this, I mean, this is a rematch of 2 years ago, so it's not like most of this team has been there before. AJ Brown, Devontae, Jalen, all those guys. But it's the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. Like they are a dynasty in the making, if not already a dynasty as it is. So they definitely have the advantage overall. I don't think it's a massive advantage, but they definitely have it for sure. I'd say. James, what do
Well,
you think?
I say because didn't Andy Reid wasn't he Eagles?
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for a long time, and he took them to a Super Bowl, but I don't. They didn't win that one. That was the T.O. broken leg game.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he took him that. Yeah, that game's crazy still. Like T.O. came back from that broken leg.
I would say just from like a pure maybe talent standpoint and looking at, they have two number one wide receivers on the Eagles. They've got that elite running back. So kind of looking at them on paper, you definitely say probably the Eagles, but going with what you're saying about the experience, yeah, they've been to Super Bowls before.
Yeah.
They know the media circus that follows with a Super Bowl, and they know how to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys. But yeah, we'll let you guys know, man. Y'all let us know in the comments. Are y'all team Eagles, Chiefs? I'm Eagles, and we actually have a bet going right now, Joe. Whichever team wins, one of us has to wear the winner's jersey. So if
Oh,
man, I gotta wear, and then if the Eagles win, we'll see him in some Eagle gear. So yeah, and you're Eagles. So we'll see how this plays out. I think for me, the Eagles just have to have a good start. Use Saquon early. He shouldn't be sitting out at all. You know what I mean? Definitely use him all around the board and just have good defense for
yeah,
sure.
it's James, that's gonna be tough for you, man. If you're a Cowboys fan, if you have to wear an Eagles jersey, that's gonna be tough for you, man.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah, I have not put on one piece that Eagles wear, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna be tough. But we'll keep you guys updated on that. Next Sunday, we'll definitely be watching that game. We got a few sports news of the day, Joe. First one.
Final countdown.